Hello, welcome to a one take, off the cuff, recap, review, talk about, hangout, discussion, put a bunch of other words in there. Let's dive into it. Let's talk about it. What are we talking about? What have we been talking about? The DC Universe. Was that too much of a head bobble? Should I do a DC Universe? All right. Now that I've said it twice, and there's no reason for me to even say it once, because that's why you clicked on this video. Welcome to part 4 of Crisis on Infinite Earths. Ooh. It's actually not spooky at all, but it is pretty devastating. So if we remember from last time, everybody's gone. Everybody's got a taste of the snap. Well, I mean, it's an antimatter wave that basically matter and antimatter, they don't like each other. So, and then, gone. So, it's a sad day for the multiverse or no verse. No verse, actually, because there's nothing. There's not nothing. What? Not nope. What moon? No, there's no moons. Planets all gone. People gone. Animals they're gone. They've lost basically. So now that I've kind of dragged this on for too long, let's really jump into it. So all the universes are gone. The anti-monitor has destroyed and basically won everything. Pariah or Nash Wells sent all the paragons away. It turns out they went into the I was right on the tip of my tongue. You know how you do that when it's up here and you're just about to go, and then you're like, what was I gonna say? So they got teleported outside of time and space. I will remember what it's called, or I'll throw it up in the corner or something. But they got to the vanishing point. See, I told you. I'm not telling anybody. But so they're all to the vanishing point. And if you've ever watched Legends of Tomorrow, the vanishing point is a place that exists outside of time and space. So it wouldn't have been affected by the antimatter wave, or the anti-monitor couldn't even get to it because he only exists within the multiverses, which are all gone. But that's still, it's not, this is a completely different realm that the paragons now find themselves in. And it's just them. And if we remember as well, Superman was one of the paragons, but he got deleted and replaced by our boy Lex Luthor, who's always scheming and doing his own thing. He does a lot of scheming in this episode. So Lex is now the paragon of truth, and then we have all the other normal paragons we have. Bear with me here because there's 7. We've got White Canary, the paragon of destiny. I don't need to go through their paragon, but we've got White Canary, Batwoman, Martian Manhunter, Lex Luthor, the Human, something Choi. He's just, there are no powers, just a guy. He's the paragon of humanity. I had to say that one because that's important there. Who else we have? I say the Flash. And then we also have Lex Luthor, Supergirl, Batwoman, Flash, Martian Manhunter, the Human, and who am I missing? Dang, who am I missing? Lex, Supergirl, Flash, Batwoman, Martian Manhunter. We're gonna have to edit some of this out, condense this portion because got it. All right then. Who's the seventh? Ah, it'll come to me. Anyway, so you got the 7 paragons there, and you've got the anti-monitor wherever he is. Everything's gone, so he's just hanging out. And nobody has zero plan. The Flash is missing. Lex and the Choi are trying to use any of the technology left to build a time machine or something. The Martian Manhunter's just meditating. Supergirl's lost all hope. Batwoman's training for a fight that will never happen. And so they're pretty teams down for the count. They got nothing. They got no ideas, nothing. But if you remember Arrow, Oliver Queen, who's died like 18,000 times throughout this crisis, why you're making us watch that over and over again, it hurts down deep. That's all I'm saying. Like, having to see him die so many times. I mean, he's only died like twice, but like, and now he's not, now he's like a ghost type dealio. So you got that going for him. But he's a Spectre now. Let me just move this a little bit. He's a Spectre now, so he's in purgatory or whatever, hanging out with the other Spectre, reliving all of his fights and really preparing for this ultimate battle. It's actually pretty cool. He's all Jedi'd out almost. He's in this giant like long robe. He's got a hood on. His voice is all like ghost deep voice. And ghost deep voice. There you go. And he's just like, preparing for the fight, and he's like, and the guy's like, it's time to go get your friends and get the paragons and really start and save everybody. So he shows up. Well, so remember I said just 2 seconds ago that the paragons, they were using Lex and the other guy to build like a time machine or something. They try and hit that. It don't work. They're SOL. All of a sudden, Barry pops in, which I think that's what it did. Because we'll find out here in a second that the Flash pops in. He's been gone for months. He's only thought that he's been gone for like 2 seconds. He thought he just ran in the Speed Force as soon as they got there to try and run back in time or anywhere. And he can't get through anything. He's stuck. He basically was trapped in the Speed Force, just getting ping-ponged back and forth because things weren't working for him. And then when Lex and the guy try and turn on their machine, nothing happens. But I think it kind of opens up a portal because the Flash jumps back in and he's all beaten and broken. And he's like, I've only been gone for 2 seconds. It's like running into a mountain. I can't get through anybody. I can't get anywhere. And they're like, you need to slow down and heal up. You look in bad shape. We'll figure something out. And he's like, you don't understand. There's nothing out there. I can't use the Speed Force. We're completely trapped. And that's when kind of Oliver Queen, Arrow, Spectres, // however want to put that character together now, shows up and goes,
"Sup, guys? I'm in tune with everything."
Isn't everything gone? Yes. But we're here to save it. Using the Speed Force. And they're like, well, no, we just went over all of this. And Barry's like, no, wait a minute. If you're more powerful, you can grant me the ability or give me strength to bring everybody into the Speed Force, break through this like wall that's preventing me in, and we can go back and save everybody. And Oliver Queen's like,
yes, that is exactly what I'm here for. But it might not be that easy.
The anti-monitor, because remember, the anti-monitor, the more he destroyed, the stronger he got. Because the monitor had like unseen huge amounts of power and abilities. So we can only imagine that the anti-monitor now has all of that in him. Because he's now the one all be. He killed the monitor. He absorbed. He is the one all be all. So Oliver's like, even with the 8 of us, it might not be enough to stop him. So what we have to do is the anti-monitor is at the dawn of time trying to set in stone what he's done. So some of us have to go there and some of us have to go to the beginning of time and try and stop the monitor from creating the anti-monitor. So we finally get to see how that all happened. There's not a whole lot of information there. I wish there was a little bit more, especially with how that kind of portion of the story ends. I'll get to it more in just a minute, but hopefully some can agree. I think they could have used that time to inform us a little bit more on how that happened and how he even got powers in the first place, because that's kind of not even explained. It just kind of explains how the anti-monitor shows up. So we'll kind of get into that a little bit. So the teams have got to split off. So basically, Oliver Queen, White Canary. I think that's who I was forgetting as number 7, even though I said it in the beginning, but I kept redoing the list so many times. But White Canary, Martian Manhunter, Flash, Oliver Queen, and are all going into the Speed Force. And then Supergirl, the Dr. Choi, and Lex are all going to go back in time to stop the Monitor. What Oliver does, which is super cool, I really liked how they did this. He didn't give Barry any extra power. He unlocked all of Barry's potential. So Barry's now able to access everything, any abilities or any potential he would have had at his peak, being a peak speedster, he now has access to. So he's unlocked any limits on that he's ever set for himself. He now has full access to all of his abilities and to the Speed Force. Which is really cool because it kind of gives us a glimpse of what he's actually capable of, which is much more than he's been capable of up till now, which, watching him over the years, like, I'm telling you, the Flash is just the coolest ever. Look, I'm going to show Flash sock. Booyah. You know what I mean? Like, come on now. You got to be quick. You got to be quick, man. So anyways, so you got that going for us. So they go off into the Speed Force, and they get actually attacked by the Anti-Monitor, and everyone gets like dropped into the Speed Force and lost in the Speed Force because the Anti-Monitor, of course, wanted to stop them from reaching him. So the 5 of them are trapped in the Speed Force, and the other 3 go back in time to stop the Anti-Monitor. I'm going to start with this first because it makes me the most upset. But I like everything, so not that upset. More of a you know what I mean? Because I don't hate anything. You know, you can be upset all you want, but their vision of the story is just as good as any. I couldn't make a better one, I'll tell you that right now. As much as I love all these characters and everything, like, no. So thank you for, we got it. You know, I'd take this over No Crisis. But the reason why I'm a little hesitant on this one is so they go back in time, and Lex, of course, gave himself some upgrades when he was in the Book of Destiny a few chapters ago, and he gave himself some upgrades. He now can like shoot lasers out of his hands and things like that. So he, of course, does his normal Lex business and placates Supergirl and Dr. Choi, and is like, I'm doing my own thing. In fact, he sneaks off because they get blasted in the past and they all get thrown. He gets thrown like 20 yards. Supergirl, of course, with her speed, like, is able to understand like things that are going on, grabs Dr. Choi, they safely land, but Lex gets like tumbled down a hill or something like that, and he's just like, thanks, like, as per usual, I gotta look out for myself. And he pulls a 180 on him, and he just is like, I'm out of here, and goes. And Supergirl like flies in and tries to stop him, and he goes, no, you know what? Usually I'm like, I'm not going to tell you my plan because we did this whole back and forth. But this time, go ahead. Ask me what my plan is. I'll tell you. And so Supergirl asks, and he's like, I'm here to do world domination, my brother, and just blasts her right in the chest with a laser beam and goes, oh yeah, made some upgrades to myself. And then Dr. Choi's like, hey, what happened? And Lex is like, I'm just laser beam because I'm done talking with you. Who are you? Nobody cares. And so he goes off to try and get to Mornovu or the Monitor to mess with the experiment and get it fixed. Because what happens is, and this is the part where I wish they expanded on. I get you got to show Lex still being Lex, and you can still do all of that and still placate to this, but this is all we get for how the Monitor was created and the Anti-Monitor. Basically, this guy named Mornovu, 10,000 years ago with his wife, they create a time machine to go back to the dawn of time, see how everything was created. The wife is actually called the Monitor. He's just a time traveler. That's kind of how he gets his name. That was kind of cool to... So we got to see how his name came to be. But the suit that he's wearing is important because that's what's going to allow him to travel back in time and prevent the from certain radiation from attacking him. I'm assuming that's what's going to give him his powers, but again, we don't really know. They turn on the machine. He goes back in time, and they see the dawn of the universe. But then what happens is his experiment also made a breach into the antimatter universe, which antimatter and matter can't coexist, and that's what kind of bleeds the two in together. And so he winds up going into the antimatter universe, the dawn of the antimatter universe, and at the dawn of the beginning of everything, since he's brand new to it, the antimatter creates the Monitor out of their own image. So the antimatter gets created at the dawn of the antimatter creation. So I think that's kind of how they got their abilities, is because they're both being created, I guess, at the dawn of existence itself. The radiation and everything from there is what's going to grow their abilities over time. We don't really know. All that's said to us is he gets created, and then the Monitor goes, oh my goodness, what have I done? So that's kind of how that was kind of happened in the beginning. Okay, jumping to Lex, he goes to the Monitor. He's like, hey, your experiment's not going to work. I can help you fix it. And if you do fix it, you can kill all the Supermen because you'll be super powerful and we can team up. Sounds good? And the guy's like, who are you? No, I'm not going to do any of that. I'm a time traveler. Like, I don't have any powers. You're crazy. And Lex goes, I don't know anything you're talking about. I'm human. The fact that I'm even here should be proof enough that what I'm saying is true. And that's what kind of gets the Monitor to go, oh yeah. And then they're just about to work together when Supergirl comes in and goes, hey, don't trust that person. He'll stab you in the back. And Lex is like, yeah, duh. And then Dr. Troy comes in, pulls him out, and they go have a quick second chat where Dr. Troy says the same exact thing Lex basically says, just in the defense of him not using the machine at all. So Lex was, don't use the machine, or use the machine, but let me help you because, we can make it so that it works in your way. You'll get powers. I can use it to my benefit. Dr. Troy's like, hey, don't use this thing at all because trillions of people will die. It'll be the worst thing you ever do because the anti-monitor would, no. But their reasonings are the same. Both Lex and they're like, me being here should be proof enough that what I'm saying is the truth. And like the Monitor agreed with Lex in the first place, but then doubled down on Dr. Troy and was like, not only do I agree with you, you're a remarkable human, which I guess is the forefront for why he becomes the paragon of humanity, because 10,000 years ago, the Monitor finds out who this guy is. But even still, I'm like, why? Like, you don't get to use the same excuse twice. Like, hey, it's me. You should believe me. No, like, I get, like, Dr. Troy's more, like, humanitarian, like, response. And I get why the Monitor sides with that. But Lex did the same thing. Like, because Dr. Troy rushes in while Supergirl and Lex are fighting, goes, hey, I got him to stop. And everyone's like, hey, you ruined a good... Like, Lex is like, you ruined my evil plan. And then calls it a day and is no longer cares about anything. Because it's like, oh, his mind's changed because all he said was, I'm here, don't do this because I'm here. Which Lex was basically like, hey, let's do it my way because I'm here. Like, I don't know. I just didn't really... I in my opinion, they could have... But I might be just too far into it. See how upset I am? I just elbowing things like, I'm angry. All right. So nobody cares about that. So moving on. So basically, what happened? Then just kind of curtailing it in. Everybody's lost in the Speed Force. The Barry has to work with Oliver, who's holding everybody together with his like essence or whatever throughout like critical times. It's kind of like an end game moment where they kind of travel throughout certain points in time. None of them are super like, I mean, it's like where Barry and Oliver met. And that's really the only crucial one because all the other people are kind of in different spots and times, but Barry at some points don't have any like connection to those moments. So it's really over only the first place where Barry and Oliver meet at Queen Consolidated, where they met, in the beginning where this all started. And Oliver's like, we're in the Speed Force. Everybody's lost. You need to find everybody. You can do it. Find us. And that's kind of that. And then Barry has to go, speeding around. He finds everybody. And once he's found everybody, I mean, a lot of it's just for some character development. Like Batwoman gets an insight into Oliver's past and kind of gets like a lesson for her to learn. Martian Manhunter kind of gets his 2 cents in with Oliver and Supergirl at a time where they're not really connecting. But other than that, not really much. But once everybody's back together, Barry grabs everybody. All we see is Barry speeding. He picks everybody up in the Speed Force, and then he also goes and picks up Supergirl, Dr. Troy, and Lex from 10,000 years ago, and they bring everybody to the dawn of time, to the Anti-Monitor's universe, because it turns out doesn't matter what anybody was doing. The only thing that was going to stop the Anti-Monitor was them fighting him. It's a fight to the end. That's what always had to happen, because basically didn't matter if they stopped the Monitor, because what happens is they go, no, we got to the Monitor. I'm sure I did. They're like, the Anti-Monitor was like, you're ridiculous. There's a multiverse of more Novus. You can get to one. You're not going to get to all of them. There will always be a scenario where one of them goes back in time and opens a breach and creates me. Inevitability creates me, which is destiny. So, booyah, I'm here, and you can't get rid of me. So basically it becomes a fight. All of the ghost demons are back. The paragons will have to fight them, and Oliver will have to fight the Anti-Monitor. And that Oliver gives one last kind of hero speech and is just like, look, you guys are enough to hold the line. You hold the line and fan the flame, you'll know when that is. And Lex is like, again with this, why do heroes have to be so cryptic? Just tell us what you want me to do and we'll do it. And Oliver's like, that's all I've got. This is it. Like, this is either we do it and I get to light the spark, because Oliver's supposed to be the one to light the spark, whatever the hell that means. Light the spark and they fan the flames and we hope everything turns out for the best. So then a fight ensues, and so Oliver does like this superpower Jedi force jump all the way up a mountainside to where the Anti-Monitor's hanging out, and all the ghosts attack the 7 paragons, and they're all fighting. Of course, Lex has laser beams and the rest are superheroes. Dr. Troy is just kind of running around throwing punches. I don't know. Those kind of moments are a little too cheesy for me. I get it, but I mean, I try to. They're like, hurrah, and take this for Oliver, and no one's gonna rule the planet but me, haha. And even the only thing that kind of tones that out a little bit is Barry kind of like stops and goes, guys, we're in the fight of our lives here. We don't have time for your like shenanigans. Either fight or shh. Like, come on. And that I was like, all right, cool. See, Flash, you're always representing. And then Oliver and the Anti-Monitor are like on a cliff, like overlooking the fight. And they're like, you're not going to be enough to beat me. And the Anti-Monitor's like, yes, I am. Like, what are you, ridiculous? Like, this is futile. And he's like, we'll see about that. And then they jump behind. And I thought Oliver was going to get one cool like fight scene like he did with Roz or any of his other numerous battles. because they really like start to square off, and I'm like, oh, you get all sorts of hype. It's like, dude, you got Oliver on one side, all hooded up, just like deep voice, like, bring it on, you failed this universe. And you're like, yeah, man. And then you've on the other side, and you've got the anti-monitor, like, come on, dude, it's me, man. I've destroyed everything, I'll destroy you, you got nothing. Basically, of course, just like always, I mean, they've got everybody else fighting. I get it. You don't have all the money in the world, because that's, what it takes to make these big. I mean, and you spent all the money already putting all these people together and doing a 5-part crossover series. So I get you kind of have to choose your battles here. But both of them kind of shoot out a ray beam, and they're battling back and forth with their ray beams. First a little bit over here and a little bit over here, and back and forth and back and forth. And then all of a sudden, Oliver looks over to the anti-monitor and just like, you have failed this universe. Rah! And just starts screaming at him. Rah! And you're like, what is he doing? And a giant light beam shoots out into the universe. And you kind of start to piece it together. Oh, Oliver is the spark to everything. He's gonna light some sort of spark, and so he's like shooting out a beam of light into the sky. He's still fighting off the anti-monitor. He's screaming, "Rah!" Everybody's confused. All the ghosts start to disappear. All the 7 paragons are like, "What's happening? What is Oliver doing?" And they're all like, "He's lighting the spark. We have to fan the flame," whatever that means. And Lex is like, oh, you know what? Lex, of course, Lex. It's actually a good thing he becomes the Paragon of Truth, because it turns out that the Paragon of Truth has the answer, turns out to have the answer to the whole kit and caboodle. Because he's like, oh my goodness, wait a minute, I made myself the Paragon of Truth. Because he's holding the piece of paper of the Book of Destiny where he crossed off Superman and wrote Lex. And he's like, what if the Book of Destiny, that's it? Like, we're the fan of we use the Book of Destiny to fan the flame. And everyone's like, how do you mean? And Supergirl's like, ding, 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 ding. The whole reason I've been so focused on one Hope, like Hope's been her major out, like she is the paragon of Hope. That's all she can think about. It's like her whole kid and caboodle. She goes, duh, we use our paragons. We've each been chosen because we embody this thing more. We put our heart and soul and our mind and thought into this one thing. And we need these 7 factors to reboot the universe. Humanity, love, destiny, truth, honor, don't fail me now, brain. Dang it, that fails me now. We'll put it up here, all 7 of them, but I just want to make, I'll try it one more time and then I'll move on because we got other things to do. So we got love. I got no notes, clearly. This is why I'm doing it this way. Maybe you people will hate it in the future, but this is real life conversation. You don't get to store notes for this stuff. It's a conversation. That's all I got, people. Love, that's number 1. That's the Flash. Destiny, White Canary, Martian Manhunter, Honor, Lex Luthor, Truth, Supergirl, Hope, Dr. Choi, Humanity, and Batwoman is Courage. Booyah! I see you just a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and you still wind up sucking because I failed like twice. How many times have I made this list now in this episode? Like 18,000 times, and I failed like 1799. I've only made it once, right? So not that great. Anyways, so there you go. So they embody whatever their paragon embodiment is. They kind of all form a line, which again, I get it, but so they form a line and they're, putting in their thoughts there of truth, honor, and the, justice and whatever. And so they're all fanning the flame. And basically an explosion happens. Anti-Monitor gets kaputskied. And everything kind of stops. And then White Canary and the Flash are like, was that it? What are we supposed to do now? And then the White Canary is like, get me up there. Let's go to Oliver. So they flash up there to Oliver. And Lex is like, hey, is this the hero thing? not half bad. Which, in all honesty, I mean, like, he's not that bad of a guy to begin with. He just hates Superman, which I guess is bad because Superman embodies, like, everything that's right. But his only real main quarrel is an alien with unforeseen powers, coming down at eventual cause that he might turn evil. Something to those lines. But, so that was just a little hoot and a holler. A little dead space there. So we got White Canary and the Flash. They speed up to everything's over. Battle's won. Now we get to find out what the hell that light in the sky was. And Oliver's like, he's lying on the ground. He's dying again. I mean, we knew it, but I mean, come on. I have to see it over and over again. Like, it really pulls at the old, this guy started the whole thing. How many times do you have to kill a guy? I'm just saying. But I get it. Anyways, so he's lying all there, all beaten and broken again. And he's like,
That was it. Check it out, guys.
That's the spark of the universe. Because they're at the dawn of time. You have to remember, they're at the dawn of time. So that's the spark of a new universe. So this is gonna be a rebirth. It's the new 52. If you guys are comic buffs, this is the restart. Everything's gonna be different from here on out. Like, this is gonna be a whole new world. I know Disney, but sometimes you gotta throw it in there. Anyways, so whole new universe. We have no idea what any of that will entail. Because all that we're going to see here is a final goodbye from Oliver. This is it. He's given it all. He gave it all and saved 1 billion people on Earth 3 from part 1. Then they tried to bring him back, but he was like, no, I got to become a Spectre. And then he helped bring everybody to the dawn of time. And he really was the whole niche to everything. Without him, the whole pinch hitter. Without him, none of it works. Barry can't take anybody back in time. He can't light the spark. I mean, Oliver's critical to this whole thing. So I guess that's the balance to needing to die like 8,000 times. But he's there and he's like, that's sparking a new universe. I did it all for you guys. And there's this really like a cool kind of quote where it's like, I've got it easy, I'm at peace now, the dead get the rest. It's those who have to keep living that have it tough, because they have to keep living on. You guys have to keep being superheroes and being that light and continuing to put on the mask. It's you guys that have the hard part. I have it easy. I'm at peace now. I'm finally able to rest and go be, he gets to go be with, his wife and all that kind of stuff. And he was been at this for a long, long time. He did 5 years on a desert island or a deserted island and under pain and suffering. And then, 8 years, saving the city and protecting the world time and time again, so it's been a wild ride, and it's sad to see him go, but it's, it was, he got his end game moment, because an end game, I know I'm cross pollinating, hate me all you want, but this is the world we live in. Iron Man got to be like, I am Iron Man. Boom. He got to be like, Anti-Monitor, you have failed this universe. Boom. Like, he got his moment there. So that was pretty cool. So, man, that's part 4, guys. We got one part left. I guess we're going to be introduced to the new universe and how all of that kind of comes together and what's next for all of these heroes and the multiverse, because it's all brand new. It's a whole new multiverse out there, whole new universe. And Barry's still kicking with us, which is awesome. He doesn't have to disappear after Crisis, so the Flash will go on. And yeah, I don't know, guys. This is a lot of stuff's going to be happening here. I think I think we'll see a lot. I'll wait for part 5 to discuss more about it, to see what's going on. Let me know down in the comments if you haven't seen it already. What you think is going to happen from here on out. If you do know what's going to happen, let's start to brainstorm on how everybody kind of goes from here in the aftermath of Oliver being gone, and how will they know how? Because remember, they're at the dawn of time. No one's going to know any of this happened. As far as everyone else will be concerned, it'll just be, whatever Tuesday or whatever Wednesday it is. You know what I mean? Like, they won't know about the anti-monitor, the monitor, or deletions of universes. None of that. Well, because they all died during Crisis. So this is a restart to everything. They'll have no idea. So it'll be really interesting to see kind of how that goes on. Thank you guys so much for your continued watching. Comment down below on any of the fun stuff that we did here today. Thanks for joining the One Take discussion. We'll see you guys all next time for part 5, and then we'll discuss where it leads to next. It'll be the ending of the DC kind of Crisis paragraph or footnotes here, and we'll get to move on to another conversation. I've got a few things in mind. I want to do Disney put out a documentary series. Of course, Disney put. I know, guys. Bear with me here. I'm not going to turn the whole channel into Disney, but there's a documentary series on the Imagineering department that I really want to dive into. There's a bunch of new movies coming out, especially now everything's going to be totally accessible from home. So there's going to be a lot more discussions, a lot more talks. I also just want to talk about a bunch of other stuff. So look out for a bunch more new criteria. Still 2 videos a week with everything going on. I'm working in all this. If you want to end the video here, that's fine. That's it for Crisis. I'm going to chat on for a little while longer, just on some stuff that's going on, some future stuff. So if you want to stick around for that, cool. If not, later. If you want to stay and be upset, do that too. So I got one more episode of Crisis that'll come out next week. This episode you guys should be watching on Tuesday. But then from here on out, I'm going to be doing a whole bunch of other stuff. I'm going to try and just turn these into one take talks where I just turn on the camera and go. Crisis was kind of giving me a forum to kind of do a basis, but a lot of stuff is happening out there in the world. I'm not going to dive into it too much. I am not going to, you won't hear anything from me about news or things like that. I'm just going to try and keep it positive, keep it entertaining here. That's what I started this thing for in the first place. I'm just here to entertain whoever wants to be entertained, or hated by whoever wants to be hated, or whatever. I'm just on a journey, man. I've really loved making these videos, and I'm really excited to see what happens next and what I continue to do. I've started having somebody edit, which is awesome. So I'm just really excited to see where else this takes me. I just want to thank you guys so much for watching. It really means a lot. I'll try to make these as fun and positive and goofy as I possibly can. And I just thank you guys so much. Please check out my London vlogs, especially now since nobody can go anywhere. You travel with me, as it were. I had to cancel a trip to Japan. I was supposed to go to Japan. That didn't wind up happening. So you stay tuned you go watch. I got a bunch of, we were there for like a week and a half, 15 videos of London. Awesome. We went all over the place. I was a huge goofball in front of the camera. Go check that out. My girlfriend yells at me a lot. It's also funny. So yeah, man, if you guys have anything you guys want me to talk about, if you guys have questions for me, we start doing like a questions thing. I try and read any comments that are posted up. So if you guys have questions or anything for me, I'll try and get those answered. Try and be as entertaining as possible. There are so many good. I just watched Ford versus Ferrari. Dude, I will be talking about that movie. That movie was incredible. Matt Damon, Christian Bale. Wow. So Ford versus Ferrari. I just picked up Jumanji Next Level, which was You guys knocked it out of the park. And Jack Black, man, you stole that movie with powerhouses and the other girl, the girl from Doctor Who, Avengers. She's been in a bunch of stuff. I'm gonna get her name or have it posted up because she deserves a shout out as well. For when you go on screen with powerhouses like Kevin Hart and The Rock, man, you got to hold your own. And Jack Black knocked it out of the park. Oh my goodness, he was hilarious. Shout out to Jack Black for sure on that one. Same with the other actress. Jack Black is an actress. He's an actor, but there was an actress on there. I've been in a bunch of stuff. I followed her all the way back since Doctor Who. She played one of the companions, Amy, on Doctor Who. Incredible. So I got that going. Onward just got posted to Disney Plus as of a few days ago. I wanted to check that out. So again, there's so much more content, so much more coming down the pipeline. Thank you all so much. I got a new camera that I'll do an unboxing video for. I've got the box right here just to prove it. I've had it for like a week, 2 weeks now. Haven't opened it at all. I should. It was a gift that I got from my girlfriend. I know. Here's where all of you can hate on me for her, because she's done it enough, I say. But she bought. I graduated college back in December, and as a gift for starting this whole YouTube channel, she bought me a camera, and I was gonna open it and start, but there's lots been going on, and I wanted to do an unboxing for you guys so you can see me open up and check everything out for the first time. So check out, that video will be coming soon, and just a whole bunch of slew of other ideas. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. I'll let you guys get back to it. You guys have a good one. Check me out till next time. Follow me on Facebook and Instagram. I post photos and updates on new videos. Do that if you want. Don't if you don't care. Comment. Don't comment. Live your life. That's what I'm telling you. Here's this thing is for entertainment, right? If you guys want to be entertained, awesome. If you guys don't like it, that's cool too. That the point, everybody should have their own basis for whatever they want. Nothing's critical. People who don't like it, that's only more of an opportunity for me to, get them to like it more or change their minds or things change all the time. I'm here to just make videos and hopefully get a laugh or two and entertain whoever wants to, take a chime in. So I've rambled enough. Thank you again. Hang out, don't hang out, enjoy, don't enjoy. Hope everyone's relaxing at home. It's stressful times, and I hope that everyone's being safe and taking care of themselves. And other than that, guys, I'll see you all next video. Later.